Everybody, trying to see if this is going. Okay, it is going. Um, so it has been forever, right? And there's my little cutie patootie, Chloe. And listen, you're gonna hear her like sound off quite a bit. Here, it's okay. Here, okay, you don't want that. All right. So I just want to get on here and try to update you guys quickly before my busybody gets into everything. And yes, you saw her back there. She is walking. She will be 9 months tomorrow, and she started walking at 8.5 months, so 2 weeks ago. Where should I start? Okay, so you guys know that we had moved. Yes, we moved. Okay. Things that happened to me after I had Chloe. I'll say when she was about 4 months. Yes, she was 4 months. My hair just fell completely out. Like the whole front. I mean, it was just ridiculous. I did just get it cut. But yeah, just my edges and like back was just like, okay, it was bald, you guys. Horrible. So I feel like this camera is like dragging, so I apologize. Y'all know how I am with my camera. Okay, so yeah, so my hair fell out, and I'll say it's like edges and stuff growing back. That came back. Hold on, y'all. Let me think, Jane. Maybe she was 6 months. I feel like she was 5 to 6 months. Okay, and it grew back like probably a month and a half ago. So it was gone for like 2 months. So thank God for that. But then I did go and like I said, I cut off like 2 inches because I hadn't had it cut at all while I was pregnant and all that stuff. Not because it was like I didn't want to, it was just issues with my hair person and blah blah blah. And I was pregnant. You know how like your nerves are just short. So Chloe started crawling at 7 months, like maybe like 3 or 4 days after she turned 7 months. And I have posted videos of her walking on Instagram. I might try to post a quick short video for you guys. What else is there that's been going on? I'm still breastfeeding. 9 months in, because she's 9 months tomorrow. Woo, still breastfeeding. She does, you know, I make all her baby food, so I usually, at first I was doing it on the stove top, and then I've started where I just simply cut up the veggies, throw them in the oven on 400, let them go for like 30 minutes, and then puree them. Then I don't puree, and I used to add breast milk. Now I don't, because she's at that point where, like, you know, she can tolerate having a little bit. Excuse my child, and I don't know what video she was trying to watch. Something on Instagram. But here, Muma, you gonna say hello, Chloe? Say hello. Okay, you see Chloe? And we just kind of woke up, so excuse our bed heads. What was I gonna say? Okay, yes, I used to do the breast milk. I don't anymore because there's no need for it. I don't need it that, I guess, as pureed, because she can take texture now. I don't really give her store-bought baby food, just because I feel like I can make it. It's cheaper. And I'm like one of those people who are kind of like about what could be in it. Nothing against it. She has had, I'll say, 2 of those little, or 3 of those pouches. I think I get, what is it, organic something. I can't remember the name. Organic baby, I don't know. So I do that. I know everybody, when you go through IVF, everyone is like, oh, sorry, guys, sometimes when I breastfeed, I forget. I'm so used to them just being out that I never have them clipped up. Okay, so they're gonna be like to my knees probably when this is over. Um, so when you go through IVF, of course, everyone's always wondering like, oh, when guys gonna have another baby, da 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 da. So you guys know that we had one. No, Chloe. We had one embryo left in the freezer. I'm sorry, guys. Chloe. Has to be the worst video on earth, okay? But you guys can still hear me, so that's all that matters. Baby. Okay, so my thought in my head was we will. Chloe is a busy girl, okay, you guys? Like, sorry. My thought was we would. Let me sit this up here. Maybe she can't get to it as much. Okay. Sorry. We would go back for the frozen embryo around when she's like 2 or 3 years old. Okay. Now, I remember everyone saying like, oh, after you are pregnant, have the baby, like you're super fertile, all that stuff, right? Okay. So what me and my husband had been doing was simply, I don't know the politically correct term, so we had just been using basically avoiding when I'm ovulating. Okay. That was the only thing that we were really doing. At some point, that didn't work out. At some point, when she was about 4.5 months, 5 months, I don't know, I guess we got reckless with that. I'm not sure. Anyways, I had started having okay. Anyways, I'm sorry, guys. What was I going to say? Okay, yeah, so I had started having like pains where I was thinking like I had a urinary tract infection or something. I had never had one. I didn't know. Come here, child. I didn't know, if I just thought it was urinary tract infection. Okay, it was pains. So it had been going on for like 4 or 5 days, and it just kept like, I don't know, I like would feel like pain when I would like go to use the restroom. Like it was just weird. So anyways, I was like, gosh, let me just go ahead and make me a doctor's appointment. So I went ahead, made a doctor's appointment, and lady, when anytime you go in there, and if you having like lower pains, whatever, they'll do like a urine test or whatever. So the medical assistant, had me go do a sample, blah blah blah. Then the physician came in and she was like, the problem that you're having is you're pregnant. And I was like, lady, shut up. Because I'm like, there is no way. I'm like, you're joking. Do you have the right urine sample? And she was like, yes. I'm like, you sure you didn't confuse it with nobody else's? She was like, no, it is yours. And I'm like, what? Like, I was just in shock. And so I'm like, what, huh? Like, you gotta be kidding me. And of course she was like, looking at me like, why is this lady telling me to hush? So I'm like, no, the thing is, because of course I had her there in the car seat. I was like, she was an IVF baby, so this is just all like, So she was just like, oh, then she like bust out laughing. She's like, oh my gosh, I see this happen all the time or whatever. So I'm like, still in shock. So I'm like, I need to call my husband. So she was like, we're going to send you down to the lab to, confirm it through blood work. And then I'm going to send you for ultrasound to try to see how far along you are or whatever. So I'm like, I called my sister first, not my husband. And then I called my mother, not my husband again. And you know, so my mom was just like freaking out. And I'm like, I don't know if I should tell him or what. So I didn't tell him. He knew I was going to the appointment, so I had just texted him. I was like, gosh, this is going to be the longest appointment ever. I wish you could be here so I could have, you know, help with Chloe or whatever. So at the clinic or whatever, I'm sorry, we don't get good reception basically. So lo and behold, I've already gotten blood work done, and I'm waiting to go back to ultrasound. And he shows up. He sees me, and he looks up, like, you know, at the area we're in, and he's like, "Why are we over here at the ultrasound?" And I'm like, yeah, you're gonna be a daddy again. And he was just like, what? Are you lying? Are you serious? He was like, oh my gosh, I'm so excited, because he has always been like, he wants baby number 2 ASAP. And I'm like, oh, hold up, no. You know what I mean? So, anyways, so went, had the blood work done. The blood work, it was like, I think it was like 180 something, was the beta result or whatever. So they went to go do ultrasound, and they were saying like, hey, we really can't, like, see, like, basically it's early in the pregnancy or whatever, like we can't really see anything, you know, major or whatever, but it was just confirmed that I was pregnant basically. Okay, so went home, and I'm still like kind of like nervous. Like I said, I was still like, I'm having, you know, pains or whatever, but no bleeding, just pains or whatever. So basically fast forward to the following week. Okay, Mama, the pains was like intensified. I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm thinking like, I've never had a tubal pregnancy. I'm gonna adjust this so I can feed her. So I've never had a tubal pregnancy, and that's what I thinking. I'm like, this pain is like getting worse and worse, and I've had a cyst before, and it was like along those lines, whatever. So it was like 12 o'clock in the morning, and I'm like, we need to go to the emergency room. So went to the emergency room. They were really not of help, you guys. Like, yeah, I prefer to go out in town. Like, we're a military family. I prefer to be out in town, but we weren't. And they weren't really that helpful. They just basically deemed it as like a threatened miscarriage or whatever. So fast forward a few days later, I did, I think I would start spotting that particular night, and then so on and so forth. It wound up getting heavier, and then I had a miscarriage. So that was definitely like unfortunate, because you know how like you get like, you know, at first for me I was in shock because I was like not in the plans, and then for it to happen, and then you kind of be like, you know, embrace it, and then that happens, you kind of like, ugh. So that was when Chloe's about 5 months old, so 4 months ago. So from there, we're still thinking about that frozen embryo. I'm not anytime soon. Like I said, I'm still stuck on 2 to 3, her being 2 to 3 years old. And if it happens naturally, that's, you know, that's perfect. If we conceive again naturally, that would be, you know, even better. But I'm like that person where I feel like, oh, I don't think I can leave, you know, my snow baby in frozen daycare. So I don't know. Today is Chloe's daddy's birthday, so we'll be going out to dinner and stuff and enjoying that. I really need to film the next video on my iPhone, because just seeing this is like annoying me. But I just want to give you guys a brief update. I am going to post the video of Chloe walking on here as well. I hope everyone is doing great. in their baby journeys. And oh my gosh, doing this video, I have been fortunate enough to build a relationship with people through this that's going through IVF. I just had someone, I had no idea who I didn't know her. My sister kind of knew of her struggle through church, basically. She didn't know me, I didn't know her. I wound up moving out here to the West Coast. My sister's gone. She's back on the East Coast. The girl wound up asking my sister, like, hey, I've seen your sister's videos. Is it okay if I get her phone number or whatever? So I've, been talking to her on the phone. Then finally one day she's like, oh, I'm going to be in your area. Would you like to, could we go out to, dinner or whatever? So I was like, okay, especially because I hadn't been out like by myself without my baby in forever. So we went out to dinner. So sweet. She paid for my dinner and was just like, you've helped me more than you will ever know. And I just want to do this for you. And I'm just like, really? Like, it just touched my heart, because I'm like, when I started doing these videos, I just basically was thinking like, hey, if I help one person, cool, but I really want to do it just so I can document, for myself, and then have just, sometimes get messages from people and stuff like that. It's just really great to know that. So sometimes I feel like I'm just rambling, so I'm glad to know that it has helped. So anyways, good luck to everyone who's still out there. Please don't give up. Like, that's just one of the things I'm just like, I have experienced like 5 failed IUIs, and then moving on to the IVF, and that first time having a miscarriage, and then second time being successful. But I would just say, like, seriously, don't give up. Just keep pushing. I'm gonna end this video because it is 17 minutes in and the quality sucks. So if you made it this far, amazing. Hope you guys have a good day.